What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got some more NBA news to be talking about with you guys. For those of you who haven't heard about this, the New York Knicks have been extremely interested in Evan Fournier, with it currently being reported that the Knicks have interest in signing Evan Fournier in free agency to try and lure him away from the Boston Celtics, and this is all being reported by Sportsnet. Now, it does look like the Warriors have been really interested in trying to get like that real big catch and shoot type of dude in free agency. Of course, they did have Reggie Bullock this season, who had a pretty good season, but there has been a lot of reports that he is going to be getting offers worth about $10 to $15 million a season. And if you guys might be like, hey, that's way too much for a dude like Reggie Bullock, he's a veteran, he should be getting not that much money, right? Well, no, not in today's NBA, when it's currently rumored that there are teams out there that are going to be offering other catch-and-shoot players like Duncan Robinson $20 million a season. It's not that much of a far stretch to say that Bullock could be getting around $10 million a season. Now, he did shoot about 400 threes this season, and about 163 of them went in on 41% from three. Very, very good season. This season literally revived his career. He was such a nice role player for this team. Great defense all through the year with a great three-point percentage. What more could you want? Now, this is the issue, though. There will be teams that will be offering him long-term deals that will probably be like 3-year contracts worth about 12 to 15 million maybe, or something like that. The way I'm saying this is maybe the Knicks are too into a player that maybe could potentially regress a little bit. Again, this was the breakout year for Bullock, but how consistent will he be? Because there have been seasons where Bullock hasn't been that great. Will he drop form next year? I have been hearing New York Knicks fans say that he could. I mean, in the season before, he was only 33% from three, and the season before that, he was 37% from three. So 41% this year was insane. But when we look at Evan Fournier, who's currently playing for the Boston Celtics team, that, who knows, he might not be happy there. I think he'll re-sign. But he was averaging 17.1 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 3.4 assists on 41% from three. And that was without really any playmaking at all from Orlando. A lot of the younger players ended up taking shots away from him. He wasn't really able to be like the role player that he was, that I think he could be on the Boston Celtics. You know, in the season before that, he literally averaged nearly 19 points per game on 40% from three. It's crazy numbers. I think that what the Knicks might potentially do is, if Bullock, he gets like a $15 million deal, I don't see why you wouldn't offer a dude like Fournier the extra $5 million, $20 million a year, and you get an extra 8 points per game and a much better scorer. He's definitely not as good as defense, and who knows, probably not on leadership. But I honestly think you maybe make the deal. Not just that, Evan Fournier has been a lot more consistent in the recent time of his career, and he's only 28 years of age. So maybe you do make this happen. Maybe this is the type of situation. There have been a lot of rumors as well that they're interested in other players here and there. There's been Damian Lillard, Dennis Schroeder, Derrick Rose to potentially come back as well. Of course, I'll be making separate videos on them, so definitely stay tuned for them. Who knows, some of them could be out before this one does get released. But Evan Fournier would be pretty cool to the New York Knicks. I just think he'll re-sign with the Boston Celtics, because I think what Boston have is actually pretty nice. For example, there have been a lot of rumors as well that Brad Stevens did not get along with some of his players, and that's why he's not coaching them anymore. So now that they can finally get in maybe a coach who they work well with chemistry-wise, and Brad Stevens is making all the moves, I think this could really work for the team. I think, they trade Kemba, get in a playmaker or someone like that. Who knows, they'll probably trade Tristan Thompson, use some free agency money, bring in some veterans, of course, re-sign Fournier. I think once they get that playmaker in, this team will be so much better, and they just got to get off these injuries. But I think next year will be a much better season for the Boston Celtics. So I think Fournier will re-sign. He'll get to play with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, etc. over the off-season, and I think that's when he will, build up, of course, a lot of chemistry with the team. But let's just say he does sign with the Knicks. This is great for them, because I think he is a much bigger upgrade over Bullock. Some people are saying they'll get both of them. I don't think so. I think they'd only bring in Fournier if Bullock's deal was that ridiculous, like a $15 million per season over 3 years. And the crazy part is a team will offer him that. I don't know who it is, but a team will, and I think they'll regret it. Because even though I really like Bullock as a player, I don't think he'll be as good next season. I think this was like, just that breakout season, that some players have. They have it every now and then. I think his defense will be similar, but who knows if he'll be shooting as good from 3 next season. And who knows if he'll be worth that money. Of course, that would mean you'd have him contracted to like 30 to 34 years of age. And with a player that's had some inconsistent seasons, that is a worry. And I wouldn't contract extend him for that long if I was the Knicks. But I know teams out there will. Like, there will be desperate teams out there that will try and sign him rather to those deals. There'll also be teams out there that will be offering Evan Fournier $20 million a season, and I think he will probably sign with the Celtics. But how cool would that Knicks team be? It'd pretty much be like a very similar team, but except you get rid of Bullock and bring in a dude that will score you 8 points more per game. Be probably more consistent 3-point shooter over the years that he'll be there, and of course be a better scorer. The offense would just be so exciting. Who knows, maybe he can pick up his defense under Tom Thibodeau. And again, maybe, guard in the shooting guard position, which he's got a lot of small forward at Orlando. Maybe guard in the shooting guard position full-time at New York. He might improve that defense to a much better scenario. But, of course, that's all very, very hypothetical. Who even knows? As I'm saying, he will most likely re-sign with the Boston Celtics, because what they've got is actually pretty good. I've suggested a trade where they actually trade for Lonzo Ball. Maybe bring in, I saw this from Crispy Flakes, who was another very popular, NBA YouTuber out there. He's kind of said that he thinks they should trade Kemba Walker for Lonzo Ball and Steven Adams. Of course, this trade works with both teams because Steven Adams sucked so much for the New Orleans Pelicans that they desperately want to trade him. Well, Kemba, I think there's too many shot creators on Boston. They need to get rid of him. And I think on the New Orleans Pelicans, he could go back to being that 20 to 24 point per game type of dude. Because, again, they've got, Brandon Ingram can be a catch and shoot dude. I don't know if Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are. They're more of a shot creating than catch and shoot. And I feel like, Brandon Ingram's he can do that catch and shoot. You'd also got, Zion Williamson who's there. Who knows, Pelicans would probably be left without a playmaker. But I still think Kemba can play make a little bit. And of course, Lonzo's probably going to leave anyway. So doing it on a sign and trade to the Celtics would make sense. And then, that would be a cool team. Lonzo, Fournier, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Steven Adams. That's a cool starting 5 in my opinion. So why would Fournier want to leave that? Who knows? But of course, I'd very much like to hear all of your thoughts and opinions on this down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for all the latest NBA content and NBA news. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel, MIRO/Logan channels if you haven't already, which I'll link them all in the description down below. Don't forget to, of course, just leave your comments down below. Will Fournier go to the Knicks, or will he re-sign with the Celtics? Or if you're a Knicks fan, would you rather Reggie Bullock? Of course, I'd very much like to know down below. But as I was saying, leave a like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.